all studied the previous topics. Our pre-midterm exam is coming. So, all be serious, study well and give an excellent result. Okay. Then, in the last class, we started the new lesson, force and laws of motion. So, the last section we discussed about force, its effects, what is internal force, what is external force, and what are unbalanced and balanced force. And we studied that the external unbalanced force is responsible for the movement of an object. If an object is at rest, there is some frictional forces between the object and the surface. So, to move that object, we should overcome the force of friction. Okay, so at that time, we should apply an external unbalanced force. These are all the topics that we discussed in the previous section. Then, may I ask one question to you? Who invented telescope? Very simple question. I know all of you know the answer. Galileo Galilei invented the telescope. Who is this Galileo Galilei? He was an Italian astronomer, mathematician, philosopher and the great scholar who invented or contributed many achievements to the world of science. Okay. He has been called father of observational astronomy, father of modern physics, father of scientific method and father of modern science. Based on his observation on the objects on an inclined surface, he deduced that the object continue the motion if we are not applying any force. That is, if an object is placed at on an inclined plane. What is an inclined plane? Do you know? An inclined plane means a tilted surface. In physics, inclined plane means a tilted surface. When we place an object on a tilted surface, it will continue the motion. If we are not applying any force, that will continue that motion. And these objects accelerate to downwards due to force. What force? What force is acting? That is, acceleration due to gravity means the gravitational force due to the force of gravity. That is, earth attracts object towards its center. So, based on this, Sir Isaac Newton further studied the ideas on Galileo and proposed three fundamental laws based on that governs the motion of objects. These laws are called laws of motion. So, in this section, we are going to study these laws of motion in details. So, we are going to discuss the following points. First law of motion, inertia and mass, and examples of first law of motion. In our day-to-day life, we observe that effort or force is required to put a stationary object into motion or to stop a moving object. Here you can see a ball is kicked on the ground, will keep moving on the ground. After a few seconds, it will stop due to friction. If there is no friction, it will continue the motion. Here comes Newton's first law of motion. And it states that a body continues to be in its state of rest or uniform motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced external force. See this example. If you are running through a straight track, if somebody asks you to stop or to change direction immediately, will you able to do it? The answer for this two question is no. You can stop, but gradually. And you can turn, but not sharply. And why is it so? Is it the same story of every object? Yes, every object will continue to do what it is doing. If it is at rest, it will remain at rest. If it is in motion, it will stay in motion. But what can change this? Yes, only an external unbalanced force can change this. If it is at rest, an unbalanced force acts on it will move. If it is in motion, an unbalanced force acts on it may accelerate or change direction. And this is nothing but Newton's first law of motion. Here is the correct definition for the Newton's first law of motion. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion with the same speed and same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. In simple words, it means that objects like to continue what they are doing. If they are at rest, they continue in rest, and if they are in motion, they continue in motion, unless an external unbalanced force acts on them. This can be understood from a simple diagram. If the forces are balanced, there can be two cases. An object may be at rest, or an object may be in motion at a non-zero constant velocity in a particular direction. These can be only two cases when the forces are balanced. In the first case, the object will continue to remain at rest, and in the second, the object will continue to stay in motion at the same velocity and in the same direction. Don't forget, these two cases remain true only if the forces are balanced. To understand inertia, we need to look at Newton's first law again. Here it is. In simple words, this means that objects tend to keep on doing what they are doing. It is the natural tendency of every object to resist in their state of motion. If they are at rest, they would prefer at staying rest, and if they are moving with a constant velocity, they would want to continue doing so. This tendency of object is called nothing but inertia. It is the natural tendency of an object to resist change in its state of motion. Yes, you already learned the word inertia, and because of this reason, Newton's first law is also called law of inertia. Do you think all objects have the same inertia? All objects resist change to their motion, right? So all should have the same inertia. Is it correct? Well, not really. But inertia tells us how strong an object's tendency is to resist change in its state of motion. Think of it like this. There is two bricks, one small brick and another large brick placed on a table. Which one would be easier to push? We know that the tiny brick can easily push. Why? It is because the heavier brick's tendency to resist change in motion is more. The heavier the object, the more mass an object has, greater will be its inertia. So, if we apply equal force to both this brick, the tiny brick will move further as compared to larger brick. The heavier brick has more inertia. Then how can we relate inertia and mass? Inertia is the tendency of an object to resist change in its states of motion. Mass of an object is the measure of its inertia. We studied that if an object is at rest, it tends to remain at rest, and if it is in motion, it tends to stay in motion. This property of an object is called its inertia. Inertia can be classified into three types: inertia of rest, inertia of direction, inertia of motion. Certain experiences that we have while traveling in a bus can be explained on the basis of the law of inertia. When a passenger is standing in a stationary bus that suddenly moves, the movement pushes the passenger backwards. Why does this happen? This is due to the inertia of rest experienced by the passenger in the upper part of the body. The body is at rest when the bus is at rest. When the bus starts, all of a sudden lower part of the body is in contact with the vehicle started moving, whereas the upper part of the body continues to be at rest because of the inertia of the rest. Inertia of rest is a tendency of a body to resist any change in its state of rest. Next, let us see what happens when a fast moving bus negotiates a right hand curve on the road. The passenger will tilt to the left. Inertia of direction is the tendency of a body to oppose any change in the direction of motion. Next, we can see with the application of the sharp brakes, the bus stops all of a sudden and the passengers tend to fall backward. This is due to inertia of motion experienced by the upper part of the body. When the bus is moving, the whole body of the passenger is in a state of motion. A sudden stop caused by the lower part of the body that is in contact with the body that is with the bus comes to rest. However, the upper part of the body remains in the state of motion due to the inertia of motion, causing the passenger to fall backward when the bus stops suddenly. Inertia of motion is a tendency of a body to resist change in a state of uniform motion. Hence, Newton's first law is also called law of inertia. I hope now you can understand why the ball moves on the ground and after few seconds it stops. It stops after some time because external unbalanced force of friction acted upon the ball by the ground in the opposite direction. So the things that we studied today: a body continues to be in its state of rest or of uniform motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced external force. Next, what is unbalanced force? Unequal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Next, balanced force, equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Then, inertia of rest, the tendency of an object to continue the state of rest, or the tendency of an object to continue its state of motion. And the types of inertia: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. Today we discussed the lesson force and laws of motion. Topic: first law of motion. Galileo Galilei was born on 15th February 1564 in Pisa in Italy. Galileo, right from his childhood, had an interest in mathematics and natural philosophy. He has been called the father of observational astronomy, the father of modern physics, the father of scientific method, and the father of modern science. By observing the motion of object on an inclined plane, Galileo deduced that objects move with a constant speed when no force acts on them. In physics, a tilted surface is called an inclined plane. Objects are known to accelerate down inclined plane because of an unbalanced force of gravity. Inclined plane. If the inclination of the planes of both sides are equal, then the marble will climb the same distance that it covered while rolling down. Laws of motion. Isaac Newton further studied the Galileo's ideas on force and motion and presented three fundamental laws that govern the motion of the object. These three laws are known as Newton's laws of motion. First law of motion. An object remains in a state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change that state by an external unbalanced force. The first law of motion is also called law of inertia. The tendency of an undisturbed object to stay at rest or to keep moving with the same velocity is called inertia. Inertia of rest. The tendency of an object to continue its state of rest is called inertia of rest. Example, when the card is flicked with the finger, the coin placed over it falls in the tumbler. Inertia of motion. The tendency of an object to continue its state of motion is called inertia of motion. Example, when we switch off a working fan, it will continue the rotation for few minutes, then it will stop. Inertia and mass. Inertia. Inertia is the natural tendency of an object to resist a change in its state of motion or of rest. Mass. The mass of an object is a measure of its inertia. Next, here some textual question answers are there. Which of the following has more inertia? A rubber ball and a stone of the same size. Mass is a measure of inertia of an object. If an object has more mass, it has more inertia. A stone has more inertia because it has more mass than a rubber ball of the same size. Next, B, a bicycle and a train. The train has more inertia because it has more mass than a bicycle. Next, a 5 rupee coin and a 1 rupee coin. A 5 rupee coin has more inertia because it has more mass than a 1 rupee coin. Next, question number 2. In the following example, try to identify the number of times the velocity of the ball changes. A football player kicks off a ball of another player of his own team who kicks the football towards the goal. The goalkeeper of the opposite team collects the football and kicks it towards a player of his own team. Also, identify the agent supplying the force in each case. Case number 1. The velocity of football changes for the first time when the football player kicks the football to another player of his team. The agent supplying the force in this case is the kick applied by the player. Then case 2. The velocity of football changes for the second time when the another player of the same team kicks the football towards the goal. Here the force is supplied by the kick of another player. Next, third case, the velocity of football changes for the third time when the goalkeeper of opposite team collects the football and or stops the football. In this case, the force is applied by the hands of the goalkeeper. And next, fourth case, the velocity of football changes the fourth time when the goalkeeper kicks the stationary football towards a player of his own team. Here the force is supplied by the kick of goalkeeper. Thus, the velocity of football changes 4 times. Third question, explain why some of the leaves may get detached from a tree if we vigorously shake its branch. If we shake the branch of a tree vigorously, then the branch of tree comes in motion, but the leaves tend to remain at rest or stationary due to their inertia and hence detach from the branch and fall down. Next, fourth question, why do you fall in the backward direction when a bus accelerates from rest, or you fall in forward direction when moving a bus brakes to stop and brakes to stop. When a moving bus brakes suddenly to stop, we fall in the forward direction because though the lower part of our body comes to a stop when the bus stops, but the upper part of our body continues to move forward due to its inertia. Next B. When a bus accelerates from rest, we tend to fall backward because though the lower part of our body starts moving with the moving bus, but the upper part of our body tries to remain at rest due to its inertia of rest. So complete all these questions in the notebook and I will upload the same page in the parent eye also. Next, here are some questions from the worksheet also. That also write in the notebook. Who introduced laws of motion? What do you mean by laws of motion? State first law of motion. With the help of suitable examples, explain inertia. Differentiate between inertia and mass. Give any two examples for inertia of rest and inertia of motion. These are all the questions. So dear children, immediately after the class, write the notes and send it to me. So let us wind up this section. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.